Hello everyone and welcome to another marvellous video. Talking about Batman's Rogues Gallery, it sure contains some of the most iconic villains. These characters are ruthless psychopaths, sociopaths, or beings surviving immense trauma. Villains like the Joker, Deadshot, or even the Riddler are pretty popular and, needless to say, fan favourites. However, there were some who failed to keep continuity in their crimes in Gotham and had erratic appearances in the comics. One such was Orca. The character was showcased as immensely strong and had developed after suffering oppression from the rich and powerful. Orca's crusade was against the corrupted entities of Gotham, but her ways got her into conflict with Batman. In today's video, we will be diving into the origins of Orca and the different iterations of the character. So without further delay, let's begin. Now, before we go into our video, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Now let's begin. Orca, aka Grace Balin, origin explored. Created by Larry Hama, Orca made her first appearance in Batman issue 579. Orca was the alternate form of marine biologist Dr. Grace Balin after she tried regenerating her damaged spinal cord using that of an orca whale. She ended up making a chemical formula that turned her into a giant ferocious humanoid orca whale. Dr. Grace Balin, aka Orca, was initially not a villain, as her acts of crime were to help Gotham's poor and needy, but later she turned into one following her ways. Grace was a brilliant student and a good human being. She was the brightest light in the dark world of Gotham. Studying at Gotham Gate College, she developed an immense liking for the marine ecosystem and its life forms. She completed her PhD in marine biology and biomedicine, following which she was hired at the Gotham Aquarium. While working, she used her resources to fund an after-school program for underprivileged youths of Gotham and fed the poor at night. However, things were not all good with Grace, as one day she met with an accident, paralysing her and leaving her dependent on a wheelchair. She tried getting back to her normal life with her research at Gotham Aquarium, but that too was hampered owing to the lack of proper funding. Eventually, she began growing desperate to find a solution to cure her paralysis. She began using the spinal cord tissues of an orca whale from the aquarium to merge its genes with that of humans, but that too was shut down owing to controversies. Dr. Balin later applied the serum to herself to repair her spinal cord and ended up transforming herself into a humanoid orca whale. Although she could transform at will, in her human state, she was still paralysed. To learn more about the story of the Orca, we will be diving into the Batman issue 579, released in July 2000. This issue begins with the Batman investigating the recent incident of a heist conducted by a humanoid orca whale. While an old man revealed that the mysterious being was a female, the others stopped him from revealing any information, stating that Batman was yet another pet of the Witch of Gotham, Camille Bader-Smith, and there would be no cooperation with him. Following this, Batman began narrating the incident of the burglary that happened during his presence as Bruce Wayne. It all happened a week before the reception on the yacht of billionaire Camille Bader-Smith. Camille was corrupted in her ways and never gave a second thought to helping the needy. Whatever she needed was for her own gains, and over the years, she had made enough connections with politicians to have things done her way. She had a liking for Bruce Wayne, and while she danced to him, the two shared differences in their opinions. While Bruce insisted that the entire idea was to share wealth and to help the development of society, Camille believed that it was only important to amass as much wealth as possible. The event was soon interrupted by Orca, and she snatched Camille's necklace containing the famous diamond, Flame of Persia. Although there were many civilians, Camille ordered her personal guards to open fire at Orca. Bruce stopped the guards from doing so, and Orca, taking advantage of this opportunity, escaped. Since then, Batman had been looking for clues about Orca and finally arrives at Gotham Aquarium to meet Dr. Balin. The two have a discussion, and seeing Dr. Balin in her wheelchair, he believes she is not the one to be suspected. Orca's intentions were to sell the Flame of Persia and help the needy, and probably fund her research, for which she had to sell a piece of jewellery. She sent one of her allies, Salmon, to fence the deal, and Batman arrived to stop it. Orca arrived as well, and the two exchanged heavy blows before Salmon received a gunshot and met his demise. Before dying, Salmon told Batman that Orca was not doing it for herself, but for several other noble purposes. This further raised suspicion for Dr. Balin in the mind of Batman, and he arrived at Gotham Aquarium to find Dr. Balin, who was still transformed into Orca. Batman and Orca fought once again and argued about their ways of dealing with the corrupted. While Orca believed that the corrupt business tycoons like Camille should be looted, Batman believed in the judiciary system. The fight came to an end when an actual orca whale from the aquarium went loose and attacked Batman. Batman managed to escape, but so did Orca from the scene. Meanwhile, Camille had to relocate some of her production facilities to incur her losses, and she started off with her plans to get rid of the Gotham Aquarium. Her intentions were to convert all education facilities into commercial places. She arrived at Dr. Balin's home and blackmailed her child into throwing a Molotov cocktail at the front door of Gotham Aquarium, or else she would have had Dr. Balin and her son evicted from her property. Meanwhile, Bruce, disguising himself as a homeless man, arrives at the soup kitchen run by Dr. Balin. While there, he not only learned about Dr. Balin's next steps, but also cleared her boy from throwing the Molotov cocktail. Things were clear to Bruce as to how Camille goaded the young boy for the act, and also about Orca's next steps. Bruce asked Alfred to prepare his specialised suit for underwater combat, and it was for one last round of battle with Orca. Orca, arriving at one of the yachts of Camille Bader-Smith, began wreaking havoc before Batman arrived. Batman and Orca began fighting while Alfred from the Batcave discovered some interesting facts revolving around Dr. Balin and the stolen flame of Persia. It was revealed that Dr. Balin's specialisation was in gene therapy research, and she had worked out ways of transforming into an orca. Also, the stolen jewellery belonged originally to one of Camille's ex-husbands. Meanwhile, Orca faced Camille and bargained a deal for her jewellery. However, it was revealed that she had no interest in it as it did not even belong to her, and also that Orca had made a grave mistake, falling into her trap. Orca, losing her calm, grabbed Camille and dived into the ocean with Batman following. Batman manages to catch up and stop Camille from suffocating, but Orca is also shown to be suffering owing to injuries. She needed the serum to survive, and Batman saved her life by delivering it to her. Orca left and spared the life of Batman, and that was the end of the encounter with Orca. In the next week, Batman compiled all data and evidence against Camille so that she is prosecuted by the law. Marvelous story arcs of Orca. Following the DC Rebirth relaunch, Orca made appearances in 2017's Nightwing Volume 4. This series showcased Nightwing's journey as he tried to take down crime in Budhaven. There we get to see Orca as a member of a criminal group known as Wales Enders. She was ordered to kill Nightwing. In issue 12, the group led by Orca attacked Nightwing while he was investigating the deaths of Polly Paterno and Robert Chapman. However, Nightwing was aided by the Runoffs, and together they managed to defeat the group and take down Orca. Runoffs was a team of reformed Gotham supervillains, and it was revealed that Orca was also a part of them until she considered herself too much of a monster. Following her defeat at the hands of Nightwing and the Runoffs, she revealed that their attack was a mere distraction for False Face Society to kill Carter Forsyth. Later, during Raptor's invasion of Bloodhaven, Roland Desmond showcased his powers and defeated the entire team of Whaleenders. Even Orca was taken down. The Whaleenders next tried to replicate Grace Balin's serum to transform themselves into whale-human hybrids, only to fail miserably. Following this, Orca helped the Runoffs and Nightwing and prepared a cure for the affected ones. Orca was later shown in the Gotham City Monster story arc as a semi-vigilante by protecting Gotham harbors from criminals. She later joined Andrew Bennett, Frankenstein, Killer Croc, Lady Clay, and later Batwoman to find and take down King Melmoth after he killed her nephew. Another version of Orca. In the DC Rebirth relaunch event, another iteration of Orca was created by Sergeant Dean Toy. The character was introduced in Dan Abnett's Aquaman Volume 8, Issue 14, published in March 2017. Sergeant Dean Toy was one of the soldiers of a military operatives task force known as Aquamarines. They were created to combat Atlantis in case of a crisis. The Aquamarines, along with Orca, were tasked by the government to attack the Atlanteans and kill Aquaman after Nemo framed them for a massacre of a US naval fleet. However, they were defeated easily, and the Orca, along with the rest of the Aquamarines, were captured and detained as prisoners of war. What makes Orca so powerful? In all iterations of Orca, the character has been shown to possess superhuman strength and stamina. Grace was shown tossing around armed soldiers and knocking them down with ease. The transformation gave her immense capabilities in combat and also the ability to function underwater. Like marine organisms, the only issue was dehydration. Grace needs water after certain time intervals. Grace also possessed adequate knowledge of marine biology and biomedicine, which paid off on different occasions. The abilities were the same for Sergeant Dean Toy, and he had sound capabilities with firearms. Marvellous verdict. So finally, we come to the end of our video, and we hope that you found our content both interesting and entertaining. Although Orca had lesser appearances compared to other Batman villains, she surely carries a lot of potential. The character of Dr. Grace Balin has an interesting build, showing her good nature and the reasons behind her crimes. Grace believed herself to be the Robin Hood of Gotham and tried robbing the rich for the poor. Despite her noble deeds, it was not right in the eyes of Batman, and it highlights Batman's strong belief in the judiciary system of Gotham. With that, we will be concluding this video, but stay tuned for the next marvellous video. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't done so already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.